Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a how to get a perfect complexion, perfect foundation routine. So basically what that means is we're going to be focusing all on the base of our face. So we're going to be focusing on skincare, primer, foundation, contour, blush, all of that good stuff. We're not going to do eyes, eyebrows, lips, any of that. But if you are interested in how to get a really easy and affordable eyebrow routine with products under $10, I will link that video down below because I just posted that last week in case you missed it. So in today's video, we're going to keep it 100% drugstore, which is so exciting because that means everything's going to be affordable. You can easily go to Target, Walmart, your closest drugstore product store and get these products, or you can easily get them online as well. But we're going to go through each category. So for example, we're going to go through primers, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite primers at the drugstore that I think are so worth it. So in a way, this is kind of like a how-to. So I'm going to show you how to do certain things, but I'm also going to share you my favorites. So I guess it's the best of both worlds. So without further ado, let's get started because I feel like this might be a super long video. I hope you learned something new. I hope you have fun with me, and I hope you go to your drugstore or online and grab some of my favorite items. We are going to be up close and personal today because we are working with the face. I think one of the most important things you have to do first is to prep your skin. So when I mean prep, in my head, I mean skincare and primer. So if you are dry, you're gonna need a lot of oil-based stuff. You're gonna need great hydration, moisturizer that has really good hydration in it. And if you are someone that's oily, you're gonna need something to keep you matte. So there are great matte primers out there, but if you're oily, I still recommend you to use a moisturizer that is a little bit less oily, but it's gonna still give your face a lot of hydration behind your makeup. So personally for me, the Cetaphil moisturizer is one of my favorites. I've been using this for maybe 2 years now, and I love it. I love it for face and body, so it's very convenient. You can get a whole container like this at Target, or you can go to Costco, and I believe they have a bigger size if you have a Costco by you, but I'm not sure. What I do is I put a little bit of this on my face, and I use this before makeup, but I also use it after I wash my face. And I kid you not, this product makes your face extremely moisturized. It feels so good, you guys. And I do have oily friends who use a little bit of this before makeup too, and they also love it. So if you are oily, this is not going to hurt you. I feel like this would be something that you definitely could try out. Moving on to primer, I think primer is very important. I feel like sometimes people don't think that primer is important, which I used to be one of those people because I felt like when I put foundation on my skin, it looked great, so I didn't feel like I need primer. But have you guys ever seen that one picture online where they put primer on an orange? Because you know orange have like little inserts, so it looks like pores, and they put primer on an orange and then put foundation over, and it was so smooth. So I'm starting to think that I do need primer. I do have pores right around this area, but I think primer, you know, why not just do the extra stuff? So this right here is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. This is very comparable to the Benefit Professional, I believe, but I'm gonna be a little bit honest with you, I like this one a little bit more. I feel like it feels better when you apply on the skin, and it really fills in those pores. So I love this. If you have pores that you want to fill in, the moment that you put it on, it really does put itself into those little holes and just close them up. This primer right here is the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer. This one is for my oily friends because you guys are going to need a matte primer to really cancel out all that oiliness. So if you guys are really into this one, this is an extra step that I believe you would do before you do your moisturizer. But this is the Milk Water Stick, and basically this gives you hydration, and it's kind of like a stick that you put all over. Now this is the travel size because honey, I was not about to spend full price on a product like that. So I got the travel size, and it is so freaking cute. But if you're looking for a dupe, voila, look at this quality. This is the e.l.f. Cosmetics Prep and Hydrate Balm. Looks like a deodorant stick, but it's not. And this is so good. It's literally the same thing. So go to Target and get this, or order it online because it's so good. Now, if you're dry and you're someone who likes that oily stuff, like, you know, the videos you see on Instagram where they dramatically put the drops on their face and work it in, this is great. This is the NYX Cosmetics Honeydew Me Up. This is a great oil. I have never, or I have yet, to find an oil primer at the drugstore other than this one by NYX that is pretty good. So if you're looking for an oil one and you don't want to spend all of that money, you can spend all of this money. But for today's video, I am going to show you my favorite makeup setting spray for prep and finish. So basically, you spray it at the beginning and you spray it at the end and you're good to go. And then I'm going to show you my favorite primer for dry skin in the whole entire world. It is so amazing. So to prep and make it last, this is the Milani Cosmetics Make It Last Setting Spray, Prime, Correct, and Set. So in this one container, you can use it at the beginning, middle, and end. It's so amazing. My favorite part is it keeps my makeup on all day, of course, but it also smells wonderful. It smells like a really high-end perfume, but it's not too overpowering where you feel like a bunch of bees are going to eat at your face. But it is so great. I really recommend this. It's really hard for me to find at the drugstore, but in a way, I've been starting to see it a lot lately. But if you can't find it at your store, order it online. It's definitely on the Milani Cosmetics website. And my favorite primer of all times, I've talked about this on my channel. I discovered this about 2 years ago as well. This is the NYX Cosmetics Hydra Touch Primer. It is so good. When it goes onto your skin, it's like water bursting everywhere. And for people with dry skin like me, you understand how that feels. It feels wonderful. And it keeps me very hydrated under my foundation. So dry skin is not going to crack through and you're not going to see those dry flakes. So I'm going to put a little bit of this on my hand, or maybe a lot. I really like this product. Oh, and I'm going to work it all over my face. As you can see, it goes on very smooth and velvety, but once it gets on your skin, it kind of bursts into these water feeling. It feels like you're putting water on your face. I love it, and it's nice and cold. And then before we go in foundation, I'm gonna spray my face with the Make It Last by Milani. Ooh, it smells so good, you guys. I don't know how to explain it to you. Just one more. So while we're letting all this product sink into our skin, I'm going to show you a foundation application that I love. Of course, you guys are so familiar with this. This is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. It is very nice and an affordable version of the beauty blender that you can find at Sephora. I love this. It's great. You can also get it in a pack for such a nice discount. I think this is such a great dupe for the beauty blender if you are not willing to go, you know, pay 20 bucks for a beauty blender. Moving on to foundation, I'm going to show you guys two that I really love. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and this is the LA Girl Cosmetics Pro Matte High Definition Longwear Matte Foundation. Now here's the thing, LA Girl is not at the drugstore, but this is $10 and you can find it on lagirlcosmetics.com. There are a few makeup stores around Southern California that you can go and grab this, but the easiest way you can probably get this would be on their website. This foundation just came out about a few months ago, so it's fairly new. I think it's amazing. It does really keep you matte, and it has great coverage without making you feel super cakey and super dry. Oh my god, the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte is probably one of my all-time favorite drugstore foundations. There is something so special to this formula where it goes on really nicely, super velvety, and it gives you medium coverage, but I'm sure you can build with it. And it's actually giving you a little bit of hydration while keeping your face super matte. I really don't know how they do it, but I love it. It's one of my favorites. I've gone through multiple bottles and I definitely would recommend this to you guys. And it's so weird because I think since it's really hydrated, but it's also matte, dry and oily people could really use this. I mean, it really works for me personally, so I would really recommend this to you guys. Two more foundations that I love. This is the Milani Cosmetics Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I love this. I mean, if you're looking for coverage at the drugstore, this is going to be your baby. It's what it says, foundation and concealer. So you're getting all the coverage you need in one bottle. The only complaint I have with this is their color range is not my favorite. They really should consider expanding this color range. There is probably only a few colors, and if you're in between, you're gonna have to buy 2 to mix. But it's so weird because for this foundation, it oxidizes, so I'm actually in one of the lightest colors, which is 01 Creamy Vanilla. So color range, something we need to work on. Formula, so great. Another foundation that I recommend is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Total Cover Foundation. This one is a really odd formula. It comes out as a semi-thick mousse, but it really blends into your skin nicely and gives you the coverage that you need. But for today's video, I will be using the Maybelline Full Coverage Foundation. This also came out this year, I believe, maybe a few months ago, and I think it is so amazing. Very good for people with dry skin. It does give you that really nice hydration, but also gives you enough full coverage, and it is so bomb. Definitely recommend this to you guys. I am in the color 120 Classic Ivory. So as you can see, it's a little bit thick, but it has a little bit of movement, so it's gonna give you that coverage, but it's not gonna be too cakey or too thick. So you want to dot it on your face, and then you want to take your sponge and dab it in. You don't ever want to swipe like this. This is going to really move the foundation. It's not locking it into your skin. So you just want to gently dab in circular motions and spread that product around. As you can see, this coverage is exactly what I am looking for, but it's also giving me that dew effect. So you're not gonna look too cakey or too plastic. I also want to bring it and cover everything. So if you have some redness on your eyelids, this is the perfect time to do so. I want to bring it down to your neck. This part right here is where I test foundation colors. So if I put a little bit of foundation and blend it in and it matches my neck, that's how I know that it is my color. I want to get a little bit of the ears too. As you can see, I'm just dabbing and moving around. I'm never like swiping. I think that is not the way to do it. It's not gonna make your foundation really stay on top of your skin nicely. You wanna push it into your skin like so. So you wanna do many little dabs. And you don't have to go super hard like this either. It's like little dabs like this will really work. You wanna be very detailed with your work. So a little bit of detail goes a long way. And see, I like this foundation with the first layer because my skin is still peeking out a little bit, giving me a very natural put together look. But if I did want a full coverage, of course you can go in with more product and add another layer on. You also want to blend it into your hairline. You don't want like a separation, that would look really bad. So of course you guys can see now I added a small amount of more product, giving me a little bit more coverage. So as you guys remember earlier, I said prepping your skin with a great moisturizer and priming it nicely is going to give your foundation a really nice canvas to really stick to. As you guys can see, my foundation process right now is finished and it looks really nice, really even. My skin tone is even. Everything looks really put together because I prepped it really nicely. So prepping is really important. The next thing we're gonna do is conceal and highlight. However, I don't want you guys to feel pressured and feel like you always need to conceal and highlight. If you're going for a very full coverage, put together, special event kind of look, of course I would really encourage it because it's going to give your face a lot of great dimension. But for an everyday routine, or maybe you're too lazy, if you have a really nice full coverage foundation like this one, you can just powder after the step and you're good to go. So this concealer right here that I've used before in previous videos is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the color Light Neutral. You cannot find this at Target or Walmart, but you can easily find it at Sephora. I know Sephora carries ColourPop now, which is super exciting. Or you can just easily go on colourpop.com and find this concealer. It is so good for literally everything, carving out your brows, concealing and highlighting. I definitely recommend this. And they also just expanded their shade range, which makes me so happy. So I'm pretty sure that you can find your shade on their website. Something that you can grab at your local drugstore is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. In this color, I am light. This one is so good. The formula is so velvety, smooth, hydrating. This is great for highlighting. This is a product that I've been using for a while now. I definitely recommend this to you guys. It's really easy to blend into the skin. Both of these do not make my under eyes crack or just look gross or dry. They're both very, very smooth under the eyes, so I tend to gravitate towards these a lot when it comes to drugstore. So why not use both? I'm gonna use a little bit of this because this is a little bit of a thicker formula than the Maybelline one. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that on, and then we're gonna work the Maybelline right under. And when you conceal, basically you're gonna seal under your eye, and then you're gonna do like a triangle shape right here. And this is going to brighten up that under eye area right here. I love concealer. And then you're gonna take the same beauty sponge and you're gonna lightly dab that in. For this, you want to be very delicate and very precise because you don't want the concealer to go everywhere. You really want to focus on that triangle shape right under your eyes. And a really nice tip that I have is just to pinch your beauty sponge and really get into those corners and under your eyes. And I also like to bring it up on the lid too, because once I powder, that's gonna act as a really nice eyeshadow base. As you guys can see already, this is concealed. You see that brightness? That brightness under the eye is ultimately what you want. And right here, we just have the foundation. There's really no brightness. It doesn't look horrible, but it's a little bit dull. So adding that concealer when you're, oh, by the way, I totally forgot to mention, when you're choosing a concealer to conceal, you wanna go with a color that is closest to your skin tone or your foundation color. When you're going with a concealer to highlight and brighten, just like this one, you want to go a few shades lighter, maybe 1 or 2 shades lighter. You really kind of have to pick and choose and play with it and see what works for you. You also want to highlight under your chin, down your nose, and a little bit on your forehead. And this is really going to bring everything together. And for that step, I'm just going to use the Maybelline. So in the last few steps, we've been doing a lot of liquids. So in this process right here, we are going to lock in that liquid with a powder. Now, if you've been watching my makeup tutorials for a while, you probably already know what my favorite drugstore powder is. And I definitely recommend this to everybody. I rave about it. I love it so much. It is absolutely so worth it and so comparable to a high-end powder. They are the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Transforming Powder. I am in the color 20 and 10 and sometimes 25. I mix it all together because there's really not one shade that is relevant to my skin color. So I do have to mix a little bit, which I don't mind because the formula in this is so amazing. It really gives you a flawless effect where you look super airbrushed in person. It is so good. It smooths out your pores, your fine lines. It's not cakey. It doesn't crack into those dry, cakey skin lines. It's so freaking good. So I definitely recommend this to you guys. So bomb. Now, of course, in this step, you can also bake. So baking is when you take a loose powder and dab it under your eye and keep it there so it really sinks in to your skin and kind of covers up that liquid. But I am not somebody who likes to bake because I feel like baking, since I have dry skin, makes me a little bit cakey sometimes. So I tend to just do a pressed powder and I'm good to go. But right here is where you would like to bake if that is an option that you're interested in. Before we go ahead and start the powder process, we are going to take our sponge again and we're going to dab and get rid of any lines that were caused by the concealer, because once you powder it down, it's going to be really hard to repeat the step. So we want to get rid of any lines that were left over while we were talking. So I like to go in with a pretty precise, small, fluffy brush like so. This is the Morphe Brushes Y9. I love this for powdering because I like to be very detailed when I powder my face. This is very fluffy, so it's going to grab a good amount of product and distribute it onto my face really nicely without being a little bit too much. So I'm going to mix the two powders together, and I'm going to put my mirror up high and look up so I can see the whole bottom of my face, or my eyes, and I'm going to gently just dab. You don't want to swipe, because if you swipe, you're going to move that foundation that is freshly liquidy right now. So you just want to gently dab. And I'm telling you, it is not my camera. It is this powder. This powder is just so darn good. And I would like to apologize if my lighting is going in and out. I'm in front of my window right now and the sun is going up and down. So I deeply apologize for that. But you just want to dab, you guys. After the under eyes, I like to work the nose. Because I don't know about you, but when it's hot outside, I sweat a lot, and I always have a puddle of sweat right on the tip of my nose. So I don't want anything on my nose to move. And then we're going to do the lids. This is going to act as a great primer too. So you're smoothing out that lid. Now you're also priming your lids. Now if you do your eyebrows first, during this step you're going to have to be really careful to not mess up your eyebrows. But sometimes I like to do my eyebrows last, just for the fact that I really can go in with my foundation process. Smile lines. I like to kind of puff up my face like that. Now see, you know your face the best. So if you know where you get the most oily, honey, that's where you're gonna need a lot of powder. So you just gotta figure out what your face needs and doesn't need. So for the small brush, I like to go into the more detailed sections. So that's under my eyes, around my nose, my smile line, my chin. Now for the rest of my face, I like to go in with a bigger, fluffier brush that's a little bit denser, because this is where we're gonna pack it onto the rest of our face. This is the Morphe Y2. I love it because it's really dense, but just the tips are really fluffy, so it's gonna be really soft to pack it onto the rest of the face. So we're basically gonna do the same thing, but we're just gonna lightly seal everything in and pack the rest of our face. And you really want to get around these hairlines, because one mistake that I made was I would never like lock these areas down nicely with powder, and when I would go in with bronzer, they would look so muddy and disgusting. So ever since then, I've learned to really take my time powdering my face. And when you have a powder that is this good, I feel like the more you put it on, the better it looks. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add a little bit of color back onto our face. We finished our foundation, our powder, and basically our face looks even now. So we're going to add more dimension by contouring, more color with blush, highlight, and we're good to go. So with our bronzers, there are 3 that I love that I'm going to share with you guys today. The first one is Pixie by Pedra. This is the natural contour powder. Shape and shadow. It looks like this. I think it's so beautiful. It's really great for contouring because it's a little bit on the cooler side. So sometimes I love to use this for my nose if I feel like contouring my nose that day. I also love this. This is the NYX Cosmetics Matte Bronzer in the color medium, and this one is a little bit more warmer. It's such great formula. It blends really nicely, and this is going to be great for the summertime if you have that really nice tan and want a little warmth to your face. One of my favorite lines at the drugstore has to be e.l.f. Cosmetics, just because the products are so affordable, and they really have improved their cosmetic line, I believe, in the last 2 years. If I can open this, this is their bronzer palette. It's called the bronzer palette, and basically you get multiple colors. This one has a little bit of gold shimmer reflex into it, so if you're looking for that really bronze goddess kind of all over the face glow, this would be your baby. This one is also a little bit of a satin finish, and then these 2 are matte. So this is a great bronzer, easy to travel with when you're going on vacation and you don't want to bring multiple products. and they're really great formula and it's affordable too. So for today's video, I'm going to be using this. I'm going to go in with a lot of this and a little dab of that, but not too much, and then I'm probably going to add a little bit of a nice glow as well. So to bronze today, I have multiple bronzing brushes that I love, but this is the Morphe M527, which is one of my favorites. I've been using it for a pretty long time, and I'm going to take a little bit of this onto the tip, and I'm going to make a fishy face. You see that? Where the skin kind of sinks in, that's where you want to put your contour. So, ooh, that's pigmented. So I'm going to start, I like to start at my hairline and gently blend it down. And when you're working with bronzer, I suggest that you go small amounts and you build it up, because I am also somebody that's working very hard to really nail bronzing. Bronzing still scares me a little bit, and it's something that I'm working really hard on to improve my skills. But as you can see, we only use a little bit and it's already giving my face a little bit more definition rather than this side that doesn't have any. I'm somebody with a very round face and I have a very big face as well. So contouring or bronzing is really going to help define the shape of my face a little bit more. And this color is so beautiful because it has a really nice bronzy effect to it, but it doesn't look cakey. As you can see, it's a very nice summer kind of essence glow. But I always start at the hairline and I gently kind of fade it down. And I feel like when I blend, my whole body blends with it. But when I'm working my brush, I'm doing circular motions. So this is what my motions look like. They start here, and it's circular motions. That's really gonna get you a really nice blend, especially on the edges of the bronzer. You're not going back and forth straight up, then you're gonna get a really harsh line. But when you go circular motions, the edges of the bronzer is getting a really nice fade. And from here, you wanna bring it up to your forehead as well. And if you're someone like me with a bigger forehead, contouring your forehead is going to be a dream because it's really going to shrink that forehead size a little bit. And you want to connect it here. Now, a lot of people put bronzer in their chin area, or not their chin, their jaw area, but I don't love it too much. So whatever's left on the brush, I just like to do a little bit. And feel free to go back in with that big powder brush and blend out the edges as well. I'm now going to dab a little bit of that with the gold reflexes, and I'm just going to brush that over the bronzer. It's going to give a really nice golden glow. Now onto blush. I have a few options that I love, so I'm going to go through them pretty quickly. This first one is by City Color Be Matte Blush, or City Color Cosmetics. It's called Be Matte Blush, and this one you can't find at the drugstore, but it is online, and I believe this is only a few dollars, and the formula is so great. You get so much product and the color range is so big. So if you're somebody who maybe freelances or you're looking to build up your collection, these blushes are so nice. This one is called Guava. I love it. I'm very into the mauve pinky neutral blushes. Another one that I love is by Milani Cosmetics Coral Cove, and Milani Cosmetics Tea Rose. Now these blushes are the powder blushes that look like a rose on the inside, and these are so darn pretty. I've had them for so long now, and I forbid to get rid of them because they're so beautiful. This is from NYX Cosmetics called Hamptons. Again, as you guys can see, I love the pinky neutral mauve tones. These are a little bit smaller, but the quality is so great. Maybelline also has some blushes. These are the Fit Me blushes. This one is in the color Wine. Again, so beautiful. These are really nice quality. One of my favorites is the e.l.f. Cosmetics blushes in Mellow Mauve. This one has a little bit of shimmer onto it. It's a little bit lighter, so days that you wear very, very light makeup but you want a little bit of blush, this is going to be a great option for you. And then these two are just my all-time favorite. I've been using them for a very long time now. This is Mellow Wine by Wet n Wild. Such a great quality formula, but also color. And then this is Heather Silk by Wet n Wild as well. This one is a little bit darker than this one. I feel like this one's definitely year round. I gravitate towards this one because it's a little bit berry color, so especially in the fall it's going to be really pretty. But for today I'm going to use a Mellow Wine. Such a beautiful, oh my god, this makes me so excited. I'm going to be using the Morphe E3 fluffy brush for my blushes. And I'm going to take a little bit of this. A little bit does go a long way. So for the blushes, I just kind of smile and see where my cheeks are. And I'm going to put product here, but also fade it up into the bronzer so everything looks faded together. Now, if you feel like you put a little bit too much, do not worry. Go back in with your powder brush and blend that out. Now, some people hate blush. I personally love it. I think it is so cute and so feminine. So I am somebody that likes to use a lot of blush. When I'm blending my powder blush in, I want to dab. So it really looks like it's sinking into the skin. It's like a really nice fade. Now for highlight, there's only one drugstore highlight that I absolutely swear by, and it is the Maybelline Master Chrome highlight in the color Molten Gold. Molten Gold. And it is so pretty to highlight. I'm using the Morphe M510 brush. And you guys, I'm just not going to say anything because I'm just going to pack this onto my brush like so. And I'm going to show you the type of magic that this has. Like, it's so freaking pretty. So to highlight, again, I like to suck in my cheeks. And the highest areas that stick out, that's where I want to pack the most product. And then I gently like to fade it out. So I kind of like to work it back and forth in that area. And then this is where I kind of fade it up and down. I also like doing the tip of my nose. A little bit above the eyebrows. This is going to be really pretty when the sun hits your face. Now the last thing that we're going to do that is so important to me is go in with a setting spray. I'm going to go in with the Milani one that we used earlier in this video. And a setting spray is really going to help get rid of extra powder. It's really going to make the product sink into your skin. And I swear this step is so important because you don't really want to leave the house looking super cakey. This is going to break everything down for you. But it's also going to make your makeup last pretty long. I also like spraying my face because it really makes the highlight kind of melt into your face and also give you a really nice natural glow, as you guys can see. Once my whole face is going to be dry with the setting spray all gone, it's going to look very natural, kind of like a glow from within rather than very powdered. Okay friends, that is it for today's video. I genuinely hope you had so much fun hanging out with me. Of course, I love you guys so much and I always have such a great time sitting here and just talking to you and just feeling like we are actually physically hanging out. I hope that you leave this video learning a few things about my makeup routine that hopefully you can incorporate into yours. I would love for you to go pick up some of these items. Let me know how you think or you feel about it. But also comment down below and let me know a few products that you love that maybe I may not know about. We can start a conversation down there. And also, I know that a lot of my subscribers go through my comments, so it's gonna help a lot of other people as well. Hopefully, this breakdown of products, routine, and technique and everything really helps you with your foundation routine. As always, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, my loves.